Congratulations, your child's been accepted to a great college or university. Now here comes the bill. The cost of college continues to rise even here in state. The UConn system just approved a 6% tuition hike over the next couple of years. Joining us right now, admissions and tuition expert James Maroney, our first choice college in Milford. He has got tips for staying ahead in the college loan and financial aid game. Great to have you back with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, this is a lot of important stuff, especially for seniors who are now finding out if they're getting into the school that they want to go to. So the first thing we want to discuss is FAFSA. This is something that really lends itself to financial aid.
Yes, the FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid, and I want to emphasize free. I had a client last year who called me and said, you know, I just filed my FAFSA and I paid my $50. And I said, what are you talking about? And he went to a website, FAFSA.com, that you pay to enter the information. But the website is FAFSA.ed.gov, and you file that, and all need-based aid goes off of that form.
Deadline for that is when?
You can't file it until after January 1st of the student's senior year, but you want to file it as soon as possible after January 1st.
So this isn't something juniors could do right now. As they start looking at colleges, they have to wait till the senior year?
Correct. You have to wait until your senior year. What juniors can do and should do is try to find out an estimate of your expected family contribution. When you file the FAFSA, they're going to come back with a number called your EFC. And you can find your EFC on a number of websites, such as the College Board website for the SAT. And what that does is it helps you to plan, because the expected family contribution is what the government says you can afford to pay each year over the 4 years in school.
All right. Schools have their own financial aid departments. How do you go about seeing which one might be a good one and some that are lacking?
Exactly. I think you should investigate the quality of the financial aid programs before you go. Again, one of the things you can do is look at the College Board website, and when you do a school search, they have a financial aid tab there, and you can look at the average percentage of need met. And for me, a marker of a good program is a school that's meeting over 80% of your need. If they don't report how much need they're meeting, they're probably not doing a good job of meeting the need, because most schools are proud of the amount of money and grants that they give out.
Right. Now, something else schools will offer is a merit scholarship. We're not talking national merit scholarship necessarily, but this is a school's merit scholarship. They like some of the clubs and activities you're in, the grades are good and all that, or the whole package is good. How do you go about getting one of these through the school, and how do you know which school's got the better one?
Usually, you need to investigate those ahead of time. And while the admissions decision isn't solely based on your SAT scores, the merit scholarships usually do go by pretty strict cutoffs for your SAT scores. And they also, a lot of times, will have different priority deadlines. For instance, Fairfield University and UConn. If you do not apply early action, you're not eligible for their merit scholarships. And there are a lot of schools. University of Maine, if you don't apply by December 15th, you're not eligible for the merit money. Even University of Oregon, January 15th.
Is it true, though, that if you don't apply for early decision, that you have a better shot at getting financial aid from a school?
Yes, because when you apply for early decision, well, yes and no, I'm sorry, I should qualify that. Everything's always qualified.
Of course.
If you apply for early decision, you're telling a school, I will go there if I'm accepted. So you can't compete your aid offers. And one of the strategies for getting your best financial aid package possible is to apply to schools in pairs, to apply to similar institutions, because schools don't want to lose someone based on money. But you have to make sure that they're thought of as peer institutions, because if you, let's say, for example, Yale, if you got a full scholarship to maybe Southern Connecticut, Yale might not be willing to match that.
Right, so Harvard, Hofstra, it's a little bit different there.
Exactly. So you want to look and see, in the FISC guide to education, they list what they call application crosses. You know, students who apply to this school also apply to this school, or look at athletic conferences. This
might take a little bit of time to prepare, and at least for a family to be honest with itself. But this is something called the EFC, the Expected Family Contribution. How do you figure that out, and then also how do you apply it to the financial aid you may need?
The expected family contribution, probably the easiest way to figure it out is to go on one of the websites, such as finaid.org, or the best one really is the collegeboard.com, and you enter in your information. It goes off of 4 basic things: parent income, parent assets, student income, and student assets. There are a number of other variables that will affect it ultimately, but those are the basic things they're looking at. And you want to find that as early as possible because that's what they're going to expect you to pay
That you can do in
year.
the junior year easily.
Yes, and that way you know if the EFC is high, you can make some adjustments. You know, maybe not go on a big vacation that year, or if there's anything you can do to change it.
Oh, let's get our priorities straight. Vacation, very, very important over college education. All right, here is a checklist for you. Get FAFSA applications after the first of the year. Also, investigate the school's financial aid programs and their merit scholarships. Apply to schools in pairs. That way, as you said, you can get competition going.
Yes.
And also know your expected financial contribution and how it's used in conjunction with other financial aid. And also, check out scholarships. There's a lot of scholarships, even scholarships for people named James Maroney. Some weird things out there sometimes, right?
Yes, and you want to look at great websites for that would be fastweb.com for the national ones. But usually your best bet is the local scholarships with the Rotary clubs, the Kiwanis clubs. The Greater Bridgeport Area Foundation, gbafoundation.org, has a number of scholarships, and then the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven has a search on their website as well.
And if you'd like to get in touch with this gentleman yourself, his company is First Choice College, and they are at firstchoicecollege.com, and you can also find their link on news12.com. Great to see you again. Happy
Thanks
holidays.
for having me, Eric.
James, thank you so much. Coming up, a Connecticut winter on the farm. Chicks and ducks and geese better scurry to get ready for their appearance up next here on the Education Notebook on News 12 Connecticut. As local news gets, but